Welcome to the Coop with Kit. My name is Kit Hoover, and I have been lucky enough in my 30 years in this business to interview some of the most iconic, badass women out there. We all know that girlfriends give the best advice, and they're all coming to the Coop. We're talking career, marriage, kids, sex, aging, all of it. I truly believe we are just hitting our stride. All right, my chickens, let's get into it. When I say the name Heather Graham, your mind immediately goes to Swingers, The Hangover, Boogie Nights, and of course, The Spy Who Shagged Me. But Heather is much more than that lovable bombshell that you see on the screen. In our conversation, she talks about her challenging upbringing and how she found healing through building a, quote, chosen family. I love that. Also the name, by the way, of her newest movie that she wrote, directed, and stars in. She's taken ownership, baby. At 54, Heather emphasizes the power of affirmations. She teaches us a few. And being clear about asking for what you want. People pleasers, that's me, take note. She's focusing on gratitude, authenticity, valuing her girlfriends that she calls the committee, enjoying her guy, and manifesting gorgeous female-driven stories. She's on fire, y'all, and I'm not even talking about her looks. Get excited. Here's Heather Graham. Hi, Heather Graham.
It's great to see you.
Okay, we start the Coop with one word to describe where you are in your life right now.
Right now, I feel happy to talk to you. And you have great energy and it's fun.
First of all, I was laughing with my girlfriends. I was like, Heather Graham's coming on today. And the coolest thing about you is all my women friends were like, oh my gosh, I love her. I feel like she's the best girlfriend. And then my one girlfriend is, oh my God, she's my husband's hall pass. Can you get me a video? And so the two is so winning. But do you feel that about yourself?
Well, honestly, thank you. That is so flattering. I mean, I'm super grateful I've been able to do what I love for my whole adult life. So I'm grateful that people like me enough that I get to keep doing this.
You said one word, happy. Are you always happy?
No, I'm not always happy, but I do have, I think, a happy personality in general, which I'm super grateful for. But no, I can totally be bummed out. And I think sometimes I worry too much. That's something I've definitely been working on. But my goal is just to always get back to the gratitude because, I don't want to miss my life because I was worrying too much. And there's a lot of good things happening and I want to be able to enjoy them.
Something else when you were on the show, I don't know how we went deep so quickly, but we were talking a little bit about your childhood. This was off camera, but you talked about detaching from your parents. And I just remember giving you the biggest hug. Like, you never know someone else's journey. And I was just so fascinated by this. Let's go back to your childhood, little Heather Graham. What was home life like?
Well, I've been listening to your podcast. Actually, it's super interesting. So I love that you ask all these questions of all these interesting people. My home life was, my father was really, really religious, but in a way that I guess I would describe as religious abuse. He was a very kind of tortured soul. He had a lot of demons and, I think he was just abusive in general. And my mom was kind of this creative person who I think was a bit frustrated that she couldn't really do her creative work like she wanted to. As I got to be a teenager, my sister got into drugs and alcohol. And she definitely had a journey with that. It was really my parents. I don't blame my sister at all. She's, just kind of like stuck in their dysfunctional system. But I think it was mainly my father. I think my father was abusive. My mom didn't really protect us. And it was a dysfunctional family dynamic.
But when you're in it, a lot of times for your childhood, you only know what you know. So what was the moment where you were like, hang on a minute, this isn't serving me well?
I mean, to be honest, there's levels I still discover even today where I'm like, that was really screwed up that happened.
Yeah.
Because when you're growing up in a family, you think it's normal. You think everybody's kind of going through the same thing. And it's only when I moved out and got other friends. And to be honest, my movie's called Chosen Family. The movie's kind of about that journey where I left my family and discovered just some really nurturing, unconditionally loving friends and how they taught me what love is and how to love myself and how to be in a healthy relationship.
By the way, I love your group of friends. I've been doing so much research and listening to a lot of podcasts you've been on. I want to be friends with the committee, Heather. Heather's got the greatest group of friends called the committee. I want in. So we will discuss when this is over.
Okay, you should hang out with us sometime. You're invited. That would be fun.
Done.
I mean, honestly, I love my committee. Okay, so I have my old school friends from when I was a teenager, which are the friends I loosely based the chosen family character on. And then I kind of have my newer friends who are my committee. And it's so cute because every time I do a podcast and I talk about them, I send it to them and we all laugh. And I love talking about them because, I love my girlfriends.
Also, something else in common. We're both born in 1970, Heather. We're class of 88.
Yes, I mean, you are gorgeous. You're a gorgeous role model, I think, for our generation. I mean, you're
right back at you. You're a bombshell. You're a beautiful, attainable bombshell. We came with it. That's something so very relatable. I don't know if there's such thing as a relatable bombshell, but that's your new title, my friend.
Okay, that's hilarious.
What were you like in high school?
I was super nerdy. I was insecure. I was in drama. I had a high IQ and I basically was in advanced placement classes, which was kind of great because I got a great grade point average. But I just was really obsessed with being an actress. And I only applied to one school because I just wanted to stay in LA. So the only school I applied to was UCLA, which I got into. And I did go there for a few years, but I started working as an actress when I was 17. So I kind of just got bitten by the bug. And it was hard to devote myself to college at that point.
First of all, to get into UCLA is so hard. But going back to that smart and nerdy, like, did you get attention from boys? Because your inner is just as beautiful, but your outside, you're gorgeous.
Oh, no, honestly, if I sent you some pictures, I sent a photo to one of my friends and they said, you look like you're Mormon or something. Like I definitely, my family sort of controlled what I was wearing. So I was conservatively dressed and, I don't think I was not considered one of the pretty girls in school at all. So when I auditioned, my first film was License to Drive and I played the pretty popular cheerleader. And when I got that part, it was so bizarre because I was like, don't they know I'm this awkward nerd? I didn't really know how to dress. I didn't really know what to do with my hair or makeup.
You will be sending. I need visuals. By the way, I had a unibrow and I weighed about 45 pounds. I'm 5 feet tall. I don't know what exactly my look was. I was tiny.
I bet you still looked good though. I bet you still looked very good.
The key was, I was like,
what were you like? Were you cool or were you nerdy or what were you like?
I was really small, which is funny because I think everybody matured faster than me, but I've always been like a happy person. And I think I just was like, I'm going to have the greatest time wherever I am. And I'm very athletic. So sports were like my thing. So I just sort of—
You are happy. You do have a good, happy vibe.
And so thank you for that.
Wow. I mean, I do still have one of my friends from high school, my friend Allison, who I loosely based the Andrea Savage character on in the movie, but I love her so much. I've known her since she was 14. It's amazing when you know somebody your whole life like that. It's pretty awesome.
Okay, wait. So License to Drive happens. And were you like, oh my gosh, I've made it. This is it?
I mean, I do remember this feeling of driving onto the 20th Century Fox lot. I think at that point I had a driver's license, so I could drive myself to work. And I remember thinking, these people are letting me drive into this lot? This is crazy. Like I'm allowed to drive in and act in a movie. I felt so excited.
I remember you, I think the first time I saw you was Growing Pains with Kirk Cameron that I thought was just the cutest boy at the time. What do you remember about that?
Oh, I had a huge crush. I mean, that was my first TV show, which is, I think I was actually 16 then. And it's funny because I just did this press where they had a picture of it and I was looking at it. It's like so cute to see your little 16-year-old self. And I mean, that was also blew my mind. It's fun when you grow up and you watch movies and television and you get a crush on an actor like Kirk Cameron and then you actually get to meet them.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
Well, that's like my friend that you're his hall pass. You can never meet him because you're not allowed to meet your hall pass. Like I can't bring you over to Pasadena.
I don't want to disappoint him after all that. I mean, I feel honored that I'm a hall pass.
Is it true that back in the day you turned down Heathers? And what role were you going to be?
I was going to be the lead Heather. And
Holy shit.
I was so excited. I mean, Winona Ryder is so cool to get to be in a movie with her, but my parents wanted to read the script and they thought it was offensive. And so they told me that they were going to kick me out of the house. And if I did it, well, basically it was my father. It wasn't really my mother. My father told me I would kick me out of the house. And so I hadn't graduated high school yet. So it was kind of, I just thought, okay, I'm going to graduate high school and then I'm just going to not let them read my scripts anymore, which is what I did.
So you had to turn down the role because of them, and then you moved out after that?
Well, they threatened to kick me out of the house, which at that point, I mean, I had made money for License to Drive, which to be honest, like being an actress has been very empowering financially because as a woman, there's something incredible about you don't have to rely on a man. You don't have to rely on your father. You don't have to rely on your husband or boyfriend. So I've just been so grateful that I've been able to financially support myself my whole life. And that is one of the things I'm the most grateful about. I love working too.
Me
it's fun
too.
to have something to do. I mean, I know there's some women, they don't want to work or they want to be taken care of, which that's cool. You know, if you want that. I actually just really love working.
I love all of your roles. I mean, God, Lorraine from Swingers, we've decided here at the Coop is our favorite. My producer was obsessed with your hair and the way you tuck it behind your ears. And then Don't Sleep on Roller Girl. And I'm laughing. Okay, so if your parents were upset about Heather's, which I'm so mad at them, what did they think about Roller Girl? You're like, I see you, Mom and Dad, and let me skate in here and show you what it's all about.
That was when I was like, when I agreed to do that part, that was after I had stopped talking to them. But I did receive a letter from my father where he said, I know that Hollywood/Satan has claimed your immortal soul, but there's still time to repent. Call Father Peter on his cell phone. I remember getting that letter. And then he used to subscribe me to this magazine called Catholic Daughters Return to the Faith. And I would just get this monthly magazine. And I actually put it in the movie Chosen Family. There's a scene where the dad gives her this magazine.
I mean, I love that you're using your art for all this healing. And I can tell by the way you can talk about this, Heather, that you've put in all of this work to get to where you are. It actually is upsetting to me to hear as a parent.
I mean, I just want to say that obviously I totally respect and admire people that are religious and they have a lot of inspiration from their religion. I think the way that I learned about religion from my father, it was abusive, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it gave me a really bad taste in my mouth about religion. And I had to really, as an adult, go past that to find my own connection with a higher power and my own spirituality, because it really just left a judgmental, horrible taste in my mouth.
They say, make your mess your mission, so to speak. And it's sort of like you've used all of this in these tools to be where you are right now. And now of writing, directing, I got chills when it came up when I was watching the trailer for Chosen Family. What a full circle moment for you. What did that feel like to sort of channel your life and put it into this movie?
I feel like I've healed a lot of things in my life that were super hard. You know, if I look back, it's been a journey. And I think I wanted to share that in a movie and make it funny. And so take some dark subject matter that you could look at and go, okay, well, that's a little disturbing, you know, or a lot disturbing, and just make you laugh at it. You know, for me, I learned how to set boundaries and not be a people pleaser and just how to get clear on what I want and not just only try to do what other people want me to do, basically.
Okay, this is another reason we need to be friends. I'm a people pleaser, Heather, and I'm in therapy. I'm working on it. And it honestly, my mom, well, I'm from the South. She's like, honey, there's worse things than being a people pleaser. And I'm like, no, but Bug, we call my mom Bug. I need to be better because it's at my detriment now. I see with a lot of things. Any tools you can share with me?
Your mom sounds cute. I love your impersonation.
You'll meet her.
Okay, part of my committee, Nina Bergman, like she's one of, I think, the most emotionally intelligent people I've ever met. But I always call her, I'm like, oh, this is happening, that's happening. And she just says, well, what do you want? That's always the thing to combat people pleasing, is having either saying to yourself or talking to a friend saying, well, what do you want? That's the opposite of people pleasing, is just asking yourself, what do I want?
The therapist asked me that, Heather, and I didn't have an answer. I was like, I don't, truthfully. And how weird. Here I run this business. Part of the reason I started this podcast was to do something that I could have ownership of. But I was like,
you want to empower women.
I want to empower women.
Your show is all about empowering women. I think.
Yes, which is funny, which is what you're doing with your movie. And again, as us being the same age, was that a conscious decision? Like, this you can control. This isn't the studio saying to you, I want this kind of film or this, or I want you as this character.
No, I mean, it's like I grew up where there weren't as many opportunities for like older women in Hollywood. And then I see these trailblazing people like Reese Witherspoon just doing movies and going, there's a huge audience of women out there that want to watch these stories, you know? So let's cater to them and let's empower them and let's tell stories about them. And so I think it's really cool that more stories are being made by women about women of all different ages.
This is going to continue this wheel a turning. Oh, this makes me so happy for you. Okay. The other thing, when I was doing a deep dive on you, I love the woo-woo side of you. I love this sort of spirit, because this is where I am in my life. And I was learning so much from you, Heather, about these affirmations. First of all, tell me what they are and how they work.
Okay, well, I want to give another shout out to Louise Hay, because if you've read Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, which is an amazing book, but it's basically this exercise I do with my committee friends. But basically, we write down, what do we want? We write down a list of what do I want? And then we write down a list of what are our deepest fears. So, and then we take everything we want and say, we have it already in the affirmation. Like, I have the most amazing relationship and I'm living in my dream home and I'm making the film that I wrote and it's coming out, stuff like that. And then you take your deepest fear, like whatever you're afraid of, say it's like aging, right? Like, I am my most beautiful I've ever been. I feel fantastic in my body and I love my life, So you flip it, you flip your fear and you act like, you have the thing that you want.
And now a word from our sponsors. Have you heard of Olakai? When I kick off my ridiculous high heels for Access Hollywood, Olakai is my go-to footwear. I found them when I was searching for the best flip-flop that also gives me the greatest support for my high arches, which has been impossible for me to find until now. Olakai is a super cool brand known for their anywhere aloha spirit and Hawaiian roots. They make shoes for every type of occasion. And now this includes the most comfortable and stylish pickleball and golf shoes. Hello. My favorite part is that the heels naturally go down to make every one of their shoes a slide. How genius is that? I promise you will love anything you get from them. And for Coop listeners, free shipping on any order at olakai.com. That's OLUKAI.com. Use code Coop and get your Olakais delivered ASAP to enjoy the summer. Mahalo. Coop Chicks, I am so fired up. I have discovered the most fabulous new female-owned botanical skincare line out of Nashville, Tennessee called Imogene & Co. for company. Using skincare products from natural ingredients is more important to me than ever. And Dr. Allison Brennan, the founder of Imogene & Co., is a trained pharmacist and has formulated products that I have never experienced before. They smell amazing, and her products cleanse, nourish, and hydrate. I seriously have noticed an incredible difference in my skin since using Imogene & Co. I am currently obsessed with their Glow Vitamin C Serum. This is the most potent and natural vitamin C serum I've ever used. It helps build collagen and bye-bye crow's feet. Equally, I really love their Revitalize face oil. I slather it on to start and to end my day. Give Imogene & Co. a try. Go to imogeneandco.com. That's EMOGENEAND co.com and use Coop 20 for 20% off. Ladies, are you like me and have looked everywhere to find your favorite white tee and tank? Well, look no further. I have found them at Aaron Gray. This will be your new go-to favorite white t-shirt brand. Custom designed in my hometown of ATL, Atlanta, and made of pure Pima cotton from Peru. You will never take it off. This pre-wash and pre-shrunk material is exclusive only to Aaron Gray and no annoying tags. How great is that? I am so happy and I feel so good every time I put these on. I have finally found my go-to tee. Aaron Gray is 100% women-owned and operated and gives 10% of profits back to cancer research every year. Go to aarongraydesign.com. That's ERINGRAY design.com. Use code COOP20 for 20% off. And now, back to the Coop. Now, this is fast. And one thing I was learning is, and I think people do it wrong, it's not I want. you're already
No.
present in it. So just explain that.
Because I make up my friend, different people I know do this. I'll give them a little assignment. You can't say, well, I'm trying to make money. You know, you have to say like, I'm making tons of money doing what I love easily and effortlessly. It has to be like, it's already happening. You can't be like, I'm trying to find a relationship. You have to be like, I'm in this incredible relationship. It's the love of my life, but I've never been happier. You got to say it. And even if it's not true.
Wow. I want everybody to put this in practice. The other thing I'm learning about myself, Heather, is it's almost slowing down enough to acknowledge that these are the feelings you're feeling, right? It's kind of, sometimes it's hard to discuss fears. I feel like for me, again, back to the pleaser, I just go faster. I'm just going to go faster and everything's okay. So to slow down enough.
I totally do that.
Yeah.
I totally do that. No, I've been working on 3 things in my life. Relax more, because I feel like I get really tense and sort of like worrying, like I was saying. And then give myself like words of affirmation, kind, supportive, cheerleading words instead of being hard on myself. And just to go slower. You know, I feel like I'm always rushing around when I really don't need to. So I'm trying to go slower.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm a work in progress. How do you feel? So we're the same age, 54. Heather, on the inside, there's a stillness and there's more, I can just sort of accept everything that's coming my way. How are you feeling about this age?
It's funny because I feel young. You know, I don't think, when I think, oh, I'm 54, I don't go, I feel like I'm what I perceive 54 to be. I feel like I'm like 40 or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I do respect like the wisdom that I've gained. I feel like I'm more powerful. I feel like I am better at expressing what I feel and what I want in a loving way. I'm always working on this idea of being a more loving parent to yourself. And I think, you know, that allows you to be more loving to the people around you. So I think I've developed a strong inner parent muscle. Like I think I would be a much better parent today than I would have been if I was 25 and I had a kid.
And I love what you said, a much better parent, though, to yourself as well. I love thinking of that. That's fascinating to me.
Well, you know, if your family doesn't give you some of the things you wanted, it's just this idea, well, it's up to you to give it to yourself, you know? So that's what I've been working on now is how can I give myself that love through my own inner parent to my inner child and really heal that.
I think that is so beautiful. And I think a lot of our listeners, honestly, that didn't grow up, you know, with the family that they wanted. What a prolific thing. Okay, speaking of that, Heather, we've got to get some advice from our Coop listeners. We're going to manifest. Okay, there's sort of 3 things we reached out and said you were coming on that people wanted you to talk about. Okay, the number 1 thing, okay, career. I gave up my career for my family. I'm now in my 50s. I don't feel relevant. I don't know what skill set I have. What is their affirmation? What are they saying to themselves?
Well, I would first say to them, what do you want? You know, like, what do you want? What do you want to be doing? What makes you feel happy? It doesn't matter what other people think about you. It doesn't matter if random people think you're relevant. It's just like, what brings you joy? You want to garden. You want to go back to work. You want to go back to college. I think the most important thing is just to ask yourself, what do I want? And then just give yourself permission to go after it.
So what would they say to themselves, like to speak that out?
I don't know if their goal is to just appreciate and love where they are in that moment and love themselves, or if their goal is some sort of new work project.
I'm hearing from a lot that they had jobs before and then they gave it up for the kids. So they're missing that side of them. So now they're empty nesters and they're like, like, what do I do now?
And is their goal like they want to work again?
Yes.
I have my dream job. I'm making so much money doing what I love. I feel so deeply fulfilled and satisfied. And what I give to the world is a gift.
Ooh, you're so good at this. Ooh, the committee would be proud. Okay, here's another one we're getting. Divorce. I'm in my 50s. I had the life that I thought I wanted. I'm divorced now. I'm alone. I'm never going to find love again. Help.
Well, of course, look, I've totally been there. You know, you break up with someone, you're like, will I ever go on a date? I mean, you need to surround yourself with love, you know, with people that are like, you can have whatever you want. I mean, there's different women. Some women want to fall in love again. Maybe some women are like, I don't want a relationship, you know, but let's say you do want, I mean, you could just say, I'm with the love of my life. I've never been happier. This is the most intimate, sexy, amazing relationship. I feel so seen and supported and appreciated and adored.
Write that down, ladies. For you, Heather, what was dating in your 50s like? Can you share any words of wisdom?
I did have a moment where the last boyfriend that I was with, when we broke up, I said to her, you know, I think everyone has this moment where I just said, will I ever go on another date? Am I ever going to get another guy to want to go out with me? I had the same moment as you know, your listeners.
Guys, she is human. Okay.
You got to say it to a supportive friend, go where the love is. You got to have that good friend. She was just like, of course you can meet somebody else. You're amazing. You're the most incredible catch. I mean, she actually set me up with the guy I'm dating now as well. But I think you just got to surround yourself with love and support and just believe that you can get what you want. I mean, there's a good saying, like, what other people think of you is none of your business.
Yeah.
And also, so if someone's saying something negative to you, who cares? You got to detach from caring about what other people think and just like do an affirmation. Like, this is the prime of my life. I feel amazing. All my dreams are coming true. Something like that. Because I don't think men in their 50s are walking around and going like,
no,
I'll never, ever get a job.
No.
Or, I think it's just sexism. And I do think as women that we're sexist against ourselves. We kind of take in the cultural things and we can be sexist against ourselves. So it's like, how do you free yourself from the cultural bondage of sexism?
We were talking before we went on, my producer and me. We love that you don't have this checklist of what your life has to be. We feel like you've been very out of the box and done all this work to get where you are. Do you see that about yourself?
It is great when somebody so wonderful like you just says all these super, like, you feel like you're being seen. I mean, I do. Well, one of my members of my committee, Liz Plank, she was doing a podcast about, women who don't have children and how just that it's okay not to have kids.
Yes.
Like if that wasn't your path and you didn't feel as drawn to that as some other women, just to celebrate your life as it is. They say that basically single women are the happiest people.
No.
So any of your listeners that are single and worrying.
I just read this article about it in the Atlantic. Yes, all about this.
I just want to let you know, as a single woman, you are considered to be the happiest person, like due to scientific research. It's like number one, single women, number two, married men. So as a single woman, you can give all that love and care that you were giving away to your kids and your husband. You can give it to yourself right now.
Take that in, listeners. Put that on there. Do you ever want to get married, Heather? Like, is that even something that you want to do?
Well, two of my best friends, my friend Michael and Julia, they're kind of my inspiration. They actually are totally unconventional. They dated for like 10 years before they got married. And then they waited like another 5 years to have a kid. And I am inspired by just this idea of like, you already have a good relationship. And it's not just like, oh, 2 years later, I met you. We got to get married. This is what you're supposed to do. Like, I just like the idea, if I'm in a relationship for like a long time and it just seems like the next romantic step, I do think could be good. But I don't feel like if I go through my life and never get married, I think that's also fine.
I think there's something so beautiful. I do think it makes you maybe in some ways not work harder, but just be more realistic about it. I don't know. There's something quite beautiful about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have this great relationship than, be married, because there's a lot of unhappy people I know that are married. So just getting married is not solving all the problems,
Okay, back to our affirmations. And this one I hate because I don't know if you've got a bunch of friends like this. It involves breast cancer. It's where we are.
Oh, yeah.
6 of my best friends diagnosed. I effing hate this thing.
Oh, I'm knocking on wood right now.
I know. Knock on my head.
I do an affirmation about being healthy. Like, I'm healthy. I feel so good inside my body. This is the best time of my life, to combat whatever the stigma of being a certain age and how you're supposed to feel. And I'm sleeping so well and I'm having the best sex of my life and, things like that.
Oh, first of all, when Heather says sex of her life, everybody, if you're not watching, you're listening, it is it. It is it. I love that you talk about that you have such an important journey with your sexuality. How did this come to be?
Well, basically, I grew up in this extremely religious kind of very patriarchal, like very negative about sex, but mostly more towards women than men, right? It was super shaming about sexuality. And so to kind of learn how to love your own sexuality and what feels good to me, like what do I want? What kind of relationship do I want? I have a friend and I sometimes call him when I'm freaking out and worrying and he goes, chase fun, or chase pleasure. So you got to go after what makes you feel good.
And I was listening to you on a podcast that says, I want all ladies to listen up. And you were talking about what works for you back in the day, though, is don't sleep with people early on. And it's sort of like giving up that power. And you're definitely sex positive was my whole point of this, but share a little of that insight.
Well, I think it all goes back to what you want, asking yourself that question, what do I want? If you want casual sex and you don't care about having a relationship, do whatever you want, have sex as quickly as you want. If you want a relationship and you're finding that you're not choosing the right person or that you're going quickly and the other person isn't wanting the same thing, I think it's important to be clear from the beginning, like, I want a relationship, and I do think as a woman, like, we get connected more quickly. And once again, my friend Nina Bergman, who I love to quote, but it took her a while to convince me. She's like, you got to wait, you got to make them work for it. You're a prize. She's like, you're the prize. It's not about getting some guy to like you. It's like, you're the prize and the guy should work for you.
Yes. And also we get distracted if you're doing the number. It like could, you know what I mean? You're going to start focusing on the wrong things. It's almost like having your power doing the number.
Yes. No, I mean, I love like that Nikki Glaser, that comedian, has this whole stand-up routine where she talks about this guy with this weird necklace and how she's like, why is he wearing that stupid necklace? And then she has sex with him. And then she's like, oh my God, that necklace is so hot. I can't believe how sexy that neck. And I just think like, that's what happens when you have sex with them. Whatever kind of annoying or bad qualities they have, it's just like the hormones flood your brain and you just think they're amazing.
Oh, it's the beer goggles. They come in. And on that note, Heather, alcohol is not a part of your life. When did this happen? Was this a conscious decision?
I guess for health reasons, and because I was struggling with some different kind of health stuff. And so I was trying all these different alternative medicines, and I tried acupuncture, and the acupuncture said, go on this health cleanse. And part of it involved don't drink. So afterwards, I just felt amazing, and then when I started like drinking again, I thought I just don't feel as good. I think I just feel better when I don't drink. Also, I don't want to get fat.
No. And also aging at our age, it is a thing. You can see a difference. And so many of my girlfriends have just stopped because it stopped serving them. They're like, I just don't feel good anymore doing it. So there is something.
Yeah. I mean, look, as a younger person, it doesn't hurt as bad the next day.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't gain as much weight. You don't feel as crappy afterwards. I think I reached a point where I'm like, I prefer to just feel really good than to have like a momentary buzz and then feel bad for like a bunch of hours the next day.
Has it made other aspects of your life even better? Because that's what I hear from all of my friends.
I mean, look, I occasionally, if someone has wine and they're like, do you want to try it? Like, I'll try it or taste something or whatever. But I do feel happier. I feel like sometimes when I was drinking, I never had a problem. Like never was like a huge drinker or drug person, but I definitely think I put myself in situations that I would not have put myself in if I wasn't drinking. Maybe who did I date or what did I, things that I did, moving too quickly with dating, like we were just talking about.
All right, Heather, let's play a little game. Let's get random. By the way, I'm having so much fun. You're so...
I know, you're so fun. Your energy is so fun.
No, what is she? Our relatable friend.
Bombshell.
Our unattainable, your relatable bombshell. Yeah. That's our other t-shirt.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going for. I'm going to put that in my affirmations.
Put that in your affirmation. It's so great.
What's happening?
Favorite curse word?
I mean, can I say it? I guess fuck is it's so powerful and fun,
I've started to say F just because I was saying it too much because it just works for everything, Heather. It just works, right? It's just the best word.
I know. It's just like, fuck. It's just like, oh, it's a good word,
I have to apologize on the podcast to my mom, Bug, every time I say it. She's like, honey, no, you don't need to say that.
Wait, why is her name Bug? That's so cute. So how did she get that?
Growing up, my dad used to call her Bug. And then when I had kids, it was something to call them. Heather, my parents got divorced after 40 years of marriage and both ended up with their first loves.
Whoa.
How about that? Crazy.
Well, see, there you go. That's inspiring to what you're saying about what to your listeners. Maybe sometimes it's good if your relationship ends. Maybe you're on the path to something new and better.
It doesn't have to be one way, which again, we were all brought up the same, especially in our age group, that it was this certain path you had to take. Oh, fill in this blank. We're calling this the next chapter. Wouldn't it be fun to ...
Feel great about myself every day. I think that's the thing I've learned the most from getting older is that I used to be really hard on myself and just think all this negative stuff. And now I'm just like, I don't have the energy to do that anymore. Nope. I just want to feel good, enjoy my life, and just like, inspire myself.
Last time you roller skated?
I roller skated during the pandemic because there was this really adorable great, cute girl that was like roller skating. And my publicists were like, you should roller skate and put it on TikTok. So I did. I kind of like trained myself a little bit and it was hard actually. You just need a really good place to roller skate. You need like a flat surface with some good asphalt.
But when you, Heather Graham, roller girl, breaks out in roller skates, like does the place go bananas? Like
Well, I do remember going to a party at one point after Boogie Nights, and it was a roller rink party. I remember skating down. I hadn't skated for a while, and I wiped out. Like, I totally fell over, and everyone was laughing. The guy was like, "Roller girl, you just wiped out." And I was like, "Oh my God, you really have to keep up that skill." It's not like riding a bicycle.
What about Halloween? There's still roller girl costumes. It's still the greatest Halloween costume of all time. Have you ever rocked it?
No. But you know what? I moved and I found the roller skates. I had the roller skates in my closet, and I was talking to my manager and I said, I wonder if I should just give these away. And she's like, I'm going to call the Academy Museum. And they asked to put them in the Academy Museum. So I donated them.
That's super cool. Speaking of your career, what would you say is the rose and thorn of your career? If there even was a thorn.
It's really great to get to make money doing what you love. And the thorn is that while people say really wonderful things to you, you can, obviously sometimes people say things that aren't as nice. And so just kind of developing a shell around yourself to protect yourself against that.
I'm thinking as you're saying that talking about it in high school, you said you were like the nerdy smart girl, and then you're getting cast to these bombshell roles. And you and I have been sort of laughing about the bombshell thing. So was that hard for you? Because you see yourself one way and yet the world is seeing you and telling you you're another. And now, a word from our sponsors. Hello, Coop listeners. This episode of The Coop is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online therapy app. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. I got to tell you, there have been big moments in my life where therapy was really essential in my growth. And what's amazing about BetterHelp is that it's entirely online and designed to be convenient and flexible to suit your schedule. We've all got crazy schedules with work, kids, life, etc. Wouldn't it be amazing to get your therapy when you want it without ever leaving your house? These are licensed therapists, and all you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with the right therapist. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/thecoop and get on your way to being your best self. All Coop listeners will get 10% off their first month. Again, it's betterhelp.com/thecoop, betterhelp.com/thecoop, THECOOP. Here's to BetterHelp. Hey everyone, I'm a jeans girl, and if you're like me, you need to know about Blue Delta jeans. Blue Deltas are custom fit for your body type. You send in your measurements and they custom fit them to you. I've truly never had jeans that fit me this perfectly, and honestly, it's been a game changer. Their easy measurement process to get your custom fit and their unique hand-sewn jeans are the best you can get. You will not believe how great they feel. Blue Delta jeans should be your go-to. I'm completely obsessed with their incredible custom vintage jeans that come in straight and flare styles. Trust me, you will live in them. Go to bluedeltajeans.com and enter the code COOP20 for 20% off your new perfect jeans. And now, back to the Coop.
It is frustrating as a woman that I feel like, there's not as many roles, and there's not as many opportunities. And sometimes you're just being perceived through a male lens. But at the same point, I try to just get back into gratitude about it. Like, I get to make money doing what I love and meet all these interesting people like you. And I'm still working. I'm about to start shooting this movie and I get to do all these stunts, which is something that I've always kind of wanted to do, like to do more action in a movie. So I'm very excited about that.
Can you share any more about the new movie where you're going to be kicking ass?
Yes, it's called They Will Kill You.
Ooh.
And it is a Skydance New Line movie, and Zazie Beetz is the lead.
Wow. What kind of stunts are you going to be doing?
Fighting scenes. I'm very excited. Yeah. Like I'm a badass fighter in this movie. So
What?
it's
How
cool.
do you know? Of course you are. We just had Jessica Alba on and she was like, oh, in my fight scene, there's no gun. It's with a knife because it allows me to do all kinds of, wizardry.
Wow. No, I was listening to your interview with her. It was really interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah. I get to fight. I have fight with weapons, not a gun. It's more like combat-y.
Is that something you've always wanted to do? Again, and this kind of goes against the stereotype.
It is. Yeah. I love when women kick ass. It's
Yeah.
so cool to watch women kick ass, or women are fighting each other, or a woman fighting a man. It's really cool. Just watching women win is so fun.
What are you manifesting next for your career and for your life?
I would really like my own production company, like a Reese Witherspoon or a Margot Robbie, just to be able to make female driven stories that are interesting. And just, I do feel like what you watch impacts how you feel about yourself. So I do feel like growing up in a culture where you're not seeing stories told from a female point of view, or there's kind of like a subtle sexism
Yep.
in the movies you watch, I think it does matter. So I'd like to be part of this wave of women changing the culture by telling our stories.
True or false? We were freaking out over here. You dated Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys? You're fighting for your right to party?
I did. Wow, you guys have done a lot of research.
Of
I'm actually
course we
proud
did.
of that. He's a cool guy.
He's so cool.
Yeah, he's a very cool guy.
Oh, I just love.
I know. I do feel lucky. I've gotten to date some kind of interesting, but no, I dated him when I was 18 years old, and he was just in, the height of his Beastie Boys thing.
How did you meet, and take me on the inside of some of those dates?
I think I met him at a party, and it was after Drugstore Cowboy. So I think I was in a moment of like indie cool actress vibe.
Yeah.
And so, I started to hang out with him, and that was really cool.
Oh, I just loved his look. I was like, oh, I like that cute little Jewish look. Like that was so my vibe. And yet he was such a badass. And like,
I know. Jewish guys are cute.
oh, here we go. What's in your bedside drawer, Heather?
My sex toys? No.
When Katie Couric was laughing about that, I said, oh, Lord, we've hit a new high at the Coop.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I don't have that. No, I mean, I love reading. I always have a book that I'm reading, my Kindle.
Favorite vice?
I love chocolate and peanut butter mixed together.
Okay, are you just like the classic Reese's, or are we going to the Trader Joe's cup, or do we make it ourselves?
Okay, so in the morning, I try to make a decadent, but not candy. I make this oatmeal, I toast it in butter, and then I put cacao nibs and peanut butter on it. So I eat it every day. But any kind of, Reese's is definitely so good. But I try not to like eat that all the time. But every morning I have, it's basically like a peanut butter chocolate oatmeal cookie.
Oh my gosh. Are you a good cook?
I'm pretty good. Yeah. Like I would have a dinner party and cook. I think I wouldn't put myself as like some sort of gourmet chef, but I would say I could make delicious food that people would enjoy.
That's an affirmation. I need that in my new thing. I'm like, here we go.
It sounds like you have a committee there. You've got your committee,
Harper
right?
McDonald, lean in. This is Harper McDonald.
Thanks for your fun vibes off screen.
I'm loving this.
And
this is the best morning ever.
Ever.
For us.
And you know what's great, Heather, is I started the Coop for this reason, to like learn from women around our age and older and younger that are doing things purposeful for themselves, right?
I love it. No, because I feel in the past women would sometimes compete against each other to get this man.
No.
And now I feel like, after I thought Me Too was a great moment. It's sort of like, no, women band together to support each other and have each other's backs. I feel like that's a cool cultural shift that I think is amazing.
Okay, last question, because I've had a ball with you. What makes you happy, Heather?
Being grateful for everything in my life that's good, talking to cool people like you, go where the love is, go towards the warmth, go towards the people that appreciate you and get you, like talking to you on this podcast or my committee or my chosen family friends.
Thank you for sharing your morning with me. Here you are in South Africa, kicking ass on your new movie. This was a wonderful morning. Harper and I are so full of love and gratitude. So thank you for all of this. And we'll chat again. But everybody, October 11th, go see the new movie, The Chosen Family. It's incredible.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me on your podcast. I love what you guys are doing. It's inspiring. It makes a difference. It's so cool. You're like, inspiring women with all these cool stories of all these interesting people. And I'm grateful to be included.
All right. Well, I will see you soon, my friend. Tell the committee we're coming. I'm coming for them. You tell them.
Okay, I will.
Thanks, sweet girl. Have a great one.
All right. Thanks, Kit. Okay, bye.
Oh, she's so awesome. Oh, I love that laugh. Let me bring in my producer, Harper McDonald. Harper, is she not just so lovely?
She is just a lovely, phenomenally fabulous human being.
Just a bright light.
Absolutely. I know one of the things, and I love that you guys got right into it, which was her child, and it was something that was really hit you really hard. Most don't detach from their family at such an early point in life, and obviously she was so wise at that point to recognize that it wasn't serving her. What did you think about that?
I can't even fathom being that age and what she's accomplished and how brave she is to have done that. And then this life that she has created herself.
And the fact that she has become her own loving parent.
When she said that, I thought
that
that
really
was so
struck me.
poignant. Took me a minute to realize what she was saying. I'm not as quick as Harper, but I was like, that was a beautiful sentiment. And she's not just saying it. You can tell she's done the work to back it.
100%. I mean, she's really gone deep on so many levels. But, and again, I know this connects with the actual work she's doing now, producing, directing, and writing, and having this chosen family of friends and people that love her and admire her and raise her up. I just love the whole idea of it. And it's created another platform for her to thrive.
And she's not checking the weird boxes that we've all been put in, that we've been talking about it a lot in our podcast. I feel like she's forging her life that works for her. And I love getting into the woo-woo stuff. And I just like calling it the woo-woo stuff. I am so into her affirmations. I've written them all down. I've been doing it wrong for years.
We've all been doing it wrong for years. Again, this is why we need to be in the committee. The question that she asked foremost is, what do you want? What do I want? Meaning, what do I want in every category of life, right?
Yeah.
It's about your home, your environment, your health, your love life, your friendships. What do you want?
And so many women, especially, don't answer that, or most importantly, don't ask the question. I know when I started therapy, the therapist asked me, and I was like, oh, I honestly could not answer it. I'm thinking about what everybody else wants. Now, I'm the ultimate people pleaser. Harper's helping me. When she started talking about Harper mouthed to me, like, write this down. Like, put these in your notes.
For you.
You over there, little one.
Thank you, Heather.
That's so great. Harper, what about at the end when we said, wouldn't it be fun if ...
Fill in this blank.
And what'd she say?
To feel great every day.
And I think she does.
She does feel great. She looks like she feels great.
She
talks like she feels great every day. She embodies that she feels great every day. I have to say, Kit, I feel like you feel like you feel great every day. I mean, no matter what is going on, you mask it really well, even if you don't. Talk about an affirmation. I mean, you're living the affirmations already.
I think you and I have learned to dive in and do all this. I think one thing is we're learning so much from these incredible women. Thank you, by the way, for saying that. And I really loved everything she said, and I cannot wait to practice these affirmations.
I mean, this is something we can talk with our daughters about, with our children about, with our partners about, with our friends about. Every single piece that she advised us on is something that will change our lives, I feel like, if we did it.
Here's our affirmation. I think our affirmation, Harper, should be, we have the #1 podcast
in
the universe, the solar system.
The #1 podcast. And it feels so good.
It feels so good.
And everyone learns so much from it.
They're inspired.
Oh my God, see?
Jinx. And we just keep getting incredible people. Now, we're vacillating with the idea of letting men in the coop if they come with their moms.
If they come with their moms.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Hope y'all loved that interview as much as we did. So great. We'll see you next time in the coop. Thank you for joining us, my chickens. If you like this episode, please give us a 5-star rating, drop in a great review, and tag us at The Coop with Kit Hoover. As well, you can follow us on social media at The Coop with Kit Hoover for behind-the-scenes content and updates. We will see you next time in the coop. And remember, as my mom Bug always says, life is not a dress rehearsal. Make it count. Today's episode was produced by me, Kit Hoover, and Harper McDonald. Our technical producer is Christian Brown, and today's episode was edited by Christian Brown. Business development by Casey Ladd, and a special thank you to all of our sponsors.